YouTube beautiful Toronto, where it is a balmy 12 Fahrenheit. Now, to all my Canadian friends, I said Fahrenheit pretty rare. They have a tough time with the conversion. So that's what in fact, these 3 hours go by so quick. And I'm going to share with you here today is going to change your life. You put this information into action. If you will apply the information that we share with you guys today, it's going to totally change your life. But before we can get started, I have to check the energy in the room. Because never knows you. But we have an energy like a meter over here. And somebody announced that we cannot make that. Unless the meter is turned up. So if that meter is a certain level that if it's below this level at any time, you might have to skip some things. Okay? So you ready? Okay. So I need to check the energy in the room here. But to build up the energy, well, we get lower. So what do you do? It's not but your name, your mom, leave your brother, better box, and super match. It's all about the family a little bit. And then maybe some of your children brings a lot. Then we're gonna break for lunch. All right, here we go. I need your name, and where you from, all at the same time. 1, 2. we're gonna have a big day. Yes, it is. How many of you travel more than an hour to be here today? Hey, maybe you should have done it there. The best. Listen, I need participation from everybody here. You all, the best resume. If you're not, you know. If you want more, you have to. Because the difference between this and this is what is going to allow you to achieve your goals. Sorry. There's some people who have gone from this, in fact, they started here, and they have unbelievable success in their careers. And that's why they are part of the president's student. The members of the industry have gained millions and millions of dollars in this profession. And you move it on, it just not gone long enough to make it happen. They got passionate about something and they share it without me. And I want you to hear from them like that. Please, not be wrong. And I want you guys to see them, because when you see them off the stage, just ask them about it much. In just a couple of minutes, talk to everybody about what people said, the opportunity that calls that.
Awesome. Welcome. A new year and a new beginning for each and every one of us. Are so excited about today. Dave, thank you for who you are. And I cannot wait to hear all the announcements and all the changes. We are here today to make a difference in you, because you are going to lead with such incredible information. You are going to lead with incredible, and you are going to lead to make a difference in your business. Remember, I said it's your business. We're all in business, but it's your business. You want to earn your PhD in your business. Truly passionate, become passionate about everything we do. Everything we do, the patches, the marketing plan, who we are. And that's your key. You're anxious, get hungry for better. Be hungry for better. Be hungry for better. And your day is discipline. Because without the discipline to make it happen, dreams in this business. I am so excited to be here. It's a little cold. But I'm thrilled to see each and every one of you. Again, thank you all. Thank you for who you are. Thank you, Steve.
Generally, everyone.
I got to know. I'm so excited to be here and be a part of this. Steve Schultz, this guy who, frankly, it's hard for me to call him a mentor because we weren't close when I was 25 years. Doing all the training. Then he was 25 years old this morning. But you know, he called me back at the beginning of the summer and really wasn't looking to do. Saying, you know, 33-year-old kid. And things are different, but you know what? He told me about this product. The law only says July 2nd. And here we are in January right now, and I've been pain free for 9 months or however many months it is. When I started to share the path with my 8-year-old father, and she did like immediately. That was a real litmus test for me because the black cloud never works for him. But it worked, and I had to even tell him what it was supposed to do. So that kind of cemented it for me, and I got excited, and you know, then I just started saying, shoot, yeah, this company's been around for 6 years, they've put on 6 million customers over the years, somebody's got to know what's going on. And here we are today at a brief launch, and gosh, my first event that I've had in years now, and we've all had a crazy couple of years, right? But as I sit here today, I look out into this crowd, and I have no idea or watching this live stream right now. But when I look at it in front like this, I get goosebumps, and I get so excited. And here's why: not because this place is beautiful, it's one of the nicest venues I've been in a while. Not because of that. Not because of everybody's excitement and energy, and the energy is palpable in this room. Not because of those things. You know why I get excited? Because there's not 30 people in this room yet. There are so many seats. You know what that tells me? You're in position. We're in position. You know what? You know what is too late? When everybody already knows about it. And all we have to do is tell people about it. So I'm excited. I'm so happy to be a part of this family. Thank you all of you that have paved the way so far, but the future starts now.
You can walk forward with happy engagement.
Let's get this party started. Just for a long time, and I'm so excited that to be up here and I've been in this company for 5, 6, 4 years. It doesn't matter. You guys are the staple of this company, and we're only going up. We're going to the moon. And you all are coming with us. So you know what? It's all about getting out there, making connections, and showing the product. The rest will come. People worry about not knowing people. Lady down the road may know people in the US and the UK, and she's gonna bring them on. So I'm gonna bring them on, they can bring them on. Next thing you know, my team is growing big. So don't panic, talk to the people next door, and your team will grow.
Engage everyone. Oh,
I guess you could say I'm an OG old guy. Been here since the beginning. I want to talk to you guys about change, okay? We all, it's scary, right? You're thinking, oh, where's this going? What's happening? We're pivoting, but what's most important is just to remember that we started with insoles, we merged to socks, and now we're going to patches. And patches are obviously very convenient, they can help more people, and it's just so important to embrace it because what's coming and what's going to happen is just absolutely huge. And if you want to be part of that, then you have to embrace what's happening. And I mean, I was using these patches. I'm just going to give you a quick example. I started eating healthy on Monday, but it's from the Ignite patch, and I planned this because I'm always the New Year guy, and anyway. And honestly, I weighed myself on Monday morning, and it was 200. Well, yesterday it was 251. Eating less and vegetable wherever the meat and everything. So what you have to understand is, here's an example. Other very stubborn has an iPhone 6 a week and a half ago. That's an iPhone 6. He hits it, he throws it, he bangs it, he gets pissed off at it. Apps don't work, updates don't work, but he won't change. He just won't change. And he finally, a week and a half ago, got an iPhone 14. And his mind blown. The thing works instantly, it does all the stuff you ever knew it could do. And that's what's happening, folks, since we have to embrace how we move forward. I started this company with Excel. I had to email my orders. I had to like manually do it or fax it or whatever. Or no. So age. And here we are now with such a huge opportunity, guys. So grab a little bit, run. To stay the course, do what we've always done, and we'll see some huge results. Thank you.
You know, if you are plugged in at all, you've heard my story 8,000 times since I joined 7 months ago. Because my story is my story. And you don't have to prepare for anything when you create a story. Back in May of this year, I didn't break it. And he introduced himself. And he said, your friend Dan, Dan said, you didn't love him or hate him, but he's not loving you. Oh, okay, and he introduced himself after they were. Dan, I'm going to give you a point. To explain the technology. And he's talking about these little we can put on your skin, and it's gonna send a signal to your brain, and it's gonna help people sleep and relieve pain and help people with stress. And you guys, I'm listening to this in my office, rolling my eyes. And I'm just sitting there going, what is this guy talking about? Are you serious? There's nothing on these patches, there's no drugs, there's no supplements, there's no stimulation. A little pattern is gonna send like a little mouse up to my brain. And I'm gonna sleep better. Because I have a little data and all. Jason, well, you know, research and development, 12 years, but we've only been working. Customers so far. I had my feet above my desk. On this. I said, you have 6 million customers. What are you calling me for? Well, said, okay. So now I'm thinking, if Dan's not crazy, these little patches, there's something to it. If 6 million people are using it, I said, Dan, I don't get it. I didn't think about it, but I didn't get it. And he said, you come to Toronto. I said, yep. So I moved to Toronto, went to the home office, met the great people in the home office, and Jay demonstrated the technology. And you know what Jay was doing? Second that I met him, training me. Of neurotechnology. Set up. The Wikipedia, balance. And you just don't want to take your right. And I really got myself in it. Trying to pull something else. Just because we don't understand it. So I look at it and I said, oh, go take a patch off. Put the patch off, read it, the patch off, boom, take your off. Back. I said, Jay, what is this? And I actually called David Blaine. I called David Blaine. He said it's neurotechnology. And he made this little explanation. And I said, Jay, that's great. But I can't explain it to my friends. And here's how this goes. See you close your eyes and hold out your name. So I did. And he put a pen in my hand. He said, what's in your hand right now? I said, it's a pen. He goes, how do you know? Your eyes are closed. How do you know? I said, because I know what a pen is. He said, exactly. He said, your skin, a message to your brain that says, this is a pen. He said, I could put anything in your hand, you wouldn't know what it was. How would he have? He said, your skin can send signals to your brain to do this. He said, I just figured out a way to create a pattern that when it touches the skin, it sends a message to your brain to fix things. Like what you have on your arm right now, spend on smoothly, range of motion. I don't want people sleep. I don't want people deal with stress. He went through all the benefits. And I sat down in the chair in James' office. And I didn't see him out loud. But I said, I'm going to make a bajillion dollars. You know why I said it to myself? Because I knew I didn't have to talk like Jay. Neurotechnology, neuroscience. But you know what I didn't do? Mary, you should have. Mary, you should have. No, you're helping. And I can do the demo. And I can prove What's your hand, close your eyes. What's in your hand right now? It's bad, you know, blah, 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 blah. We prove the technology, and then we also show them how to explain it. Not like a neuroscientist. Because you're not a neuroscientist. My 33 years now, I've always tried to do a couple of things. Number one, I try to always remove friction. Meaning everything you do is smooth. I'll never do that. But the second thing I always try to do is, I'm like, we do have that. We can do this. We have weekly opportunities. We've got weekly trainings. We've got videos. We teach people exactly how to do this. It is up to them to follow the path. Now, yes, if I told you that I need everybody in this room to paint that picture, and I need that painted before you leave. Some of you like, oh, I can't do that picture. I can draw stick people, right? But some of you would say, that's it. And some of you will go, yeah, it's tree. They're so bare. I need those trees. And that house, the windows aren't quite right. So I'll rearrange the windows. And you know what you're gonna do? Struggle. I know that wasn't the assignment. The assignment was to duplicate that painting exactly how it. Taking that exactly how it. Okay, let's take a line. What if I gave you this?
Oh.
Now, how many of you think you can bring this happening? Okay, the same people are lying on these. I don't think you guys. If you just paint. In fact, Jay and I are really. Look what's on the street now. There's not one person in this room who would have a hard time duplicating the painting on the left. Yes or yes? Correct? All right. That's what today is all about. Today, we're going to help things for you. That will help you say the lines. Now, this isn't to say that we're going to take all of your creative. Really don't. And we have to tell this. But we can't do that because people say, gee, what do we want? To everybody in your neighborhood, let's start there. Okay? But we're going to walk through some things with you guys here today that will completely change the dynamic. of not only your business. And I hope you're ready for it. Because when you leave here today, nobody's looking back. And I'm sitting over grades. Guys, that's iPhone 6. That's iPhone 6. Ooh, that's something to move, Steve. I'm gonna give you that box something like that. You know what? That's like 7 patches on right now. Steve not here. Okay, I'm not wearing brown. And I'm not wearing Liberty. But I have 7 on. Let's see. That. Why do I have an extra? I know something you don't know. I hope you. Because the gentleman that I want to bring to the stage. Say this. This guy, in a lot of times, he thinks it's just hype when I say this. It is not. I told Jay that this is the greatest product that I've had a chance to promote in 33 years. And that's a big statement to make. Because we've got some pretty cool deals now. We've got some pretty cool products to promote. But when I told Jay, you know, when you improve the technology to me, and I'm looking at this storm, nobody has to like the taste of it. Nobody's mixing anything up. There are no drugs involved. Wow, anything. And it improves technology instantly. That's the dance of the greatest product I've ever seen in 30 years. Wow. It is. And I don't even know if you guys know what you have in your hands. This is, when we talk about technology, it is the biggest breakthrough in health development in the last 50 years. And we have no competition. Nobody's doing it. So we're going to talk to you today about purchases. And hitting this thing so hard in my home with your hair on fire. When we walk out of this room. And to help me do that.
Get you bigger up.
Are you ready to go, brother?
We're zooming you in, bro.
Okay. Okay. To help me do that, the gentleman who gave me a call in May that completely changed my life. One of the things Jay said to me, he said, "Do you have another run?" I said, "I'm 58 years old, like I have to do something. You have another run in." And when he showed me what this technology was, I go, "Yeah, I got to run." And I'm looking for people that want to run. The gentleman who created this entire opportunity for all of us to go out there and take this technology to 1 billion people. 1 billion people. Please help me welcome to the stage, Mr. Jay Dollywall.
Okay, welcome everyone. We're having some streaming difficulties. This is why Ken and I were trying to get the audio fine for everyone. So I'm gonna turn this mic on, do a quick tap, and we're gonna talk about Ken, I'm gonna turn this mic on, and let's see if the peeps online can hear us as well. And then when you guys let me know if you can hear me. Can you guys hear me? Shannon, is that better?
Let's see from the people.
Hey, is that better?
It is.
Let's ask them. Can you hear Jay now?
Yeah.
Better?
Much better.
It's a good thing Daddy gave me a big voice. So my kids are like, "Why are you yelling?" I go, "Funny story." So we were overseas last November. And my daughter, my wife and myself, and visiting my mom's dad's farm, and my mom's got a younger brother there. And this is, about 4 miles outside of New Delhi. And my kids always like, Dad, why are you so loud? I said, listen, I've always been loud, right? I go, and then they met my mom's brother, who is like 20% louder than me. And my daughter across the dinner table looks at me and goes, now I understand. And I said, okay, great, now you understand. So I'm glad you can hear me, and I am so grateful for everyone finding time joining us today. I can't thank you enough from the bottom of my heart, what this means to me to come out in the cold from overseas. But I need everybody here that flew in here from wherever you flew in to stand out for me, please. That is absolutely incredible. That is really mind-blowing that you risked all the chaos on the airplanes in the last season, and you came to the cold. Right, so thank you. Driving many hours. My friend Michael Copperwhite. Mike, how many hour drive was that, man? Yeah. Just 8 hours. I remember when I met Mike and Tommy in Connecticut this past summer. On the way back, I got caught in this torrential rainstorm, and that was not a fun 8 hours. And I had this stupid little sports car and the convertible, and it's just nuts. And I was just not impressed with myself, thinking, what was I thinking? I thought it was a nice summer drive. And then I got to Albany, I think, and the heavens opened up. Anyways, it was so much fun meeting everybody. But what we're going to talk about today is innovation. What we're going to talk about today is tomorrow. What we're going to talk about today is the next 5 years. We've helped 6 million people over the last 6 years. I want to help 60 million over the next 6. All right. And we're going to get there together. I can't get there by myself. I mean, I'll give you an example, right? The difference between 6 million, 1 million, and a billion. If I stood in the corner, so Yonge Street is the longest street in the world. It's the longest street in Canada. The corner of Yonge and Dundas, it's called Dundas Square, and 1 million people probably walk through there every day. If I stood there and I handed out a freedom patch, a pain patch to every single person by myself, and I gave a person every second a patch, right? Every second I handed them a patch, it would take me 11 days to hand out 1 million patches. 1 patch a second, every second, 11 days. If I did it myself. To get to 1 billion, take me 33 years. That's how big that number is. That's why I can't do it myself. Right? 2 of us, even if it's 2 of us, he's still 16.5 years, right? And so you see how this works? Right? It's the exponential power of us. It's the exponential power of everybody in this room and online. And those listening online, you have my deepest apologies that the streaming isn't working as well as we thought. We're recording everything. As soon as it's done, we're going to put it out online right away and send everybody a link to that right away. So for some reason, the audio is not cooperating. Hopefully it's better that the mic is not on, Shannon. Are we hearing any feedback?
They need to be close.
Did you back?
Mike.
Move
Better than before.
It's much better than before.
Yeah, you keep it on the phone.
So bring this up a little bit closer here. Sorry, this is called MacGyvering. You guys remember that show, MacGyver? Ah, see? My kids don't even know who MacGyver is. My kids don't know who the professor is. My kids don't know who the skipper is. My kids don't know who Alfalfa is. My kids don't know. My kids don't know who Schneider is. My kids don't know who Jack Cindy and the other girl from, they don't know anything. Don't know. I've got people in the office that haven't seen the first Top Gun, let alone the second Top Gun. Like, why are you watching a movie about an old guy flying planes? And I'm like, that's Tom Cruise, man. That's Maverick. Like, who? I'm like, forget it. So they don't get us, right? We're a different generation, but we want them involved too, right? So we got to make things relevant for them. Is that better? I'm going to hold this mic. Tell me if that's better. Can they still hear me? So far, so good. It's better. See, gang, we figured it out. Never stop trying to do things. There's so much time, but I want something, I'm gonna share something, the next slide with you guys. Steve Jobs was an entrepreneurial genius. But he made more mistakes than he did things right. Did you know this? Right? Like Apple almost went bankrupt twice. They fired him. Then when they went bankrupt again, they said, we gotta bring this guy back, you know what he's doing. And I'm not Steve Jobs. Right? I don't put myself and say, oh, I'm like, my mission is different than Steve. Steve had a different mission, I got a different mission, right? But the mission is so important. But the key thing that I share with what he said is, let's go invent tomorrow. Whatever we did or whatever happened in the past doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter. So we broke the whole concept of what wearable technology could do for people when we had our insoles and socks, and great product. But companies, organizations, and missions that rely on yesterday and don't innovate, what happens to companies that don't innovate? Anybody remember AOL? Netscape? MySpace? How many of us here have an iPhone 8? Chenda. Who here is using an iPhone 8? Or a flip phone? 8-year-old phone, 6-year-old phone? Right? Okay, that's my point. That's my point. The whole world is like, oh, this is newer, better. And we're like, no, stay over here. We can't stay. It might have stayed then. But, you know, we keep adapting and innovating and growing. So what we have now is the future. Right? Not that we forget our legacy, not that we turn our back on legacy, but it becomes a really so. Yeah, it was the greatest thing since sliced bread in 2016. We got a whole new loaf of bread. And it's got like 12 different slices in it. They all taste different. They all do different things. We want to help billions of people. We now have the platform. We have the technologies. We have the products. We have the value propositions to do that. So why is technology important? Why are we just tied into technology? Innovation is a driving, sustaining force behind every major economic success. Can you hear me?
They want you to lift the mic.
Lift the mic. Hold on. Can you grab me a chair? I'm gonna put the mic on the chair. No problem. We can do all these things. Everything is doable. Fire me. Is that better?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
All right. So we keep adapting. We keep adapting. Even live in this meeting, we're gonna make it work. So innovation, and why is innovation so tied to economic success? Because technology and innovation is supposed to make our lives easier, better. The more people's lives that we can impact or anyone can impact, the greater the economic attachment to it, right? The reason Facebook is so valuable and so economically successful, like before they started Meta, but that's beside the point, was because they connected a lot of people. Right? Why is Google so valuable? Because it makes people's lives easier. You can find information about almost anything. Right? The more people that technology can help, the greater the economic footprint. Period. Right? That's why this technology comes like, oh, you know, now it's like we have apps for this, we have apps for that. Why? Because people are looking for convenience, easy to use, making their lives simpler. Right? But there's a downside to technology, right? The downside of technology is that it compresses time and space. We're all about the same age. You guys remember in school when they said that computers were going to give us so much more leisure time, and then we have 4-hour work weeks? You guys remember those calls? You know, the economics professor, and the science and the comp sci classes. I was a geek, so yeah, this is great. We keep developing these software programs, and you guys are going to have like work 4 hours and 36 hours. No, we're doing 200 hours worth of work, 40 hours now, right? Because we just get to do more. That's the efficiency that tools provide. And that's what we want to be aligned with. We want to be maximizing our efforts, right? We want to help more people in a shorter period of time, right? So what have we done? We've done some we've developed some crazy technology. We've developed this technology. And what is it? Right? It's vibrotactile trigger technology. So we're putting something on our skin that's stimulating our receptors on our skin, and it's sending a signal to our brain. Because one thing we all have to understand, every physical, emotional, psychological function in our body has a neural code in our brain that's attached to it that helps regulate it, control it, all those different things. And when those signals get disrupted, the performance of that function is not optimal. It becomes less, right? So what do we do about that? How do we fix it? The best way to fix it is introduce compensatory signals. So signals that fill in the gaps, that fill in the cracks, and allow those functions to work the best way possible, right? And so talking about linking to the past, so Arthur C. Clarke is one of the greatest science fiction writers of all time. He's written some legendary books. And this was a quote that I started using to describe our technology way back when he writes, any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. Don't we hear that all the time? What is this? Sorcery. What is this voodoo, Jay? Like, how did you do this? This is what Steve said to me. He says, I don't understand this. How did this work? Right? We don't necessarily need to understand the mechanisms of action. Just like I don't know how my cell phone works. I don't know why this mic wasn't working. I don't know how the screen works on the laptop, right? I got a phone where the screen opens up and it folds. I don't know why it doesn't break, but it's cool. Everybody says, that's a cool phone. I said, yeah, I know. That's why I got it, because it's cool, right? But it's the experience with it. It's the experience with the technology that changes their life. And that's how we get out of the so what, right? So the way that I evaluate things is somebody says, well, I have this thing, it does this. And I always say, well, so what? What does that mean? Right? Who cares? The real purpose of anything is about 2 or 3 layers below the first so what. Right? And a lot of people didn't ask the so what question. I mean, it's just a little bit of a tangent, but I'll share on it. We all heard about the crazy fiasco that's going on in the crypto world right now. Right? So many people hurt. So many families, fortunes lost. Why? People didn't ask the so what question. Because somebody says, well, here's something. Well, what does it do? Nothing. What can I use it for? Nothing. What's the value of it? Nothing. How do I make money? So we always have to question when we present our value propositions. Hey, this can help you alleviate pain. How far do we have to go to a so what question to find out alleviating pain? One question? Because freedom from pain is a better life. Right? And we have to be comfortable sharing the so what with our clients, because sometimes people might not recognize what the balance, what the benefit is. So people say, well, what's the benefit of balance? What's the benefit of stability? I said, well, let me put it another way. Right? What's the value of making sure that we have reduced fall risk? What's the advantage of having, say, we got better energy? What's the advantage of saying that we could do the things we want to do without having to take pills or supplements, different types of things? The balance and output doesn't answer the so what question. We have to be comfortable answering the so what question for the people that we're talking to about our technologies, right? So it's the experience, and the more experience people have with our technologies, the better success we're going to have talking about all the different things that we can do, right? So here's our innovation. Right? Our innovation is a vibrotactile patch. It's got these ridges on it. It's a very complex pattern. When that pattern of ridges touches our skin, it sends compensatory signals to different neural networks in our brain that helps those functions work better, right? So it looks like a QR code, right? Because what is a QR code? It's a complex signal. When you zoom in on your phone, it takes you somewhere, it sends a message through the internet and retrieves some information for you. That's exactly what the patches are doing, right? What I need you guys to understand is that we actually don't need, no one in this room, other than myself, actually needs to understand the mechanism of action. And now I know sometimes we want to understand the mechanism of action, but the mechanism of action to figure out what we did has been 12 years of intense R&D. tens of thousands of research papers, tens of millions of dollars of R&D, right? So we have a choice. We can go dedicate our lives to becoming research scientists. You guys maybe want to join me in the lab, or you can help me change the world by taking the solution to millions and billions of people. Take number two, door number two, right? Because the science is complex. And my purpose to helping you guys is to make it uncomplex, make it simple, that what we're going to do is share the value proposition, share some new exciting validation of the technology, and share how we can explain it in simple ways with the use of tools that we've developed that we're going to share today that make this so much easier and so much more fun, right? So what do people want, right? So if we take a look at the big world of wellness and performance, what do people want, right? What are those big wellness needs? People want pain management. They want more energy. They want brain health. They want cognitive decline issues, right? They want better mobility. You know, they want reduced stress. There's all these things that people want. And on the wellness side, where they want better sleep, they want less stress in their lives, they want better strength, all those different things. On the performance side, anybody that's an elite athlete, they want one thing: to be the best, to be better than they are, right? Strength, balance, mobility, power, recovery, all those things. But the solutions that are available to them today usually come in a bottle and pills, or as an expensive therapy, or require some lifestyle change or some diet change or new training or new trainer or new fitness models, all these different things, right? But these things all have their own inherent risks, right? Everybody know about the opioid crisis? How'd that happen? How did that happen? People were in pain. They had a solution, which was a pill. The pill had very addictive properties to it. And all of a sudden, the addiction became worse than the symptom, right? And that's happening to families in every city, in every town, almost coast to coast, sea to sea in our countries. Why? Because the easy solution was, hey, give them a pill. And today, we're going to talk about amazing research that's been done that shows that we can actually help people reduce the amount of pills that they take with our technologies. Okay. So what do people really want? They want drug-free. They want instant and effective, easy to use, non-invasive, non-reactive, affordable. That people don't like change, right? Like, because they like, you want to lose some weight, exercise more, eat better. We all know that, right? The secret to vitality and health is good nutrition and regular exercise. We all know this, right? So technically, we should all have 6-packs and 8-packs because the information is free, right? It's not a lack of information. The change is the pain. The change is the pain. Like, you want me to do what? Like, I look at that Stairmaster in my basement. Look at this. I look at it. Kids grab me, take me down, they chain me to that thing. Right? Why? Because seeing you have it. I'd rather Netflix. Right? And now these kids are terrible. They actually put Netflix on the Stairmaster. They're like, okay, you can have both, Dad. You watch Netflix and you can have a heart attack on the Stairmaster. I'm like, it's not really fair. But this is what they do. Change is painful. So if we can offer a no change solution, a no diet solution, a no lifestyle change, people can be like, they're going to listen to us, right? So why the super patch? Why us? Because we deliver on these benefits. It's proven technology. It's been tested. It's been scientifically validated. We're going to talk about that today. But it sounds so good to be true, right? You guys hear that? Sounds to be too good to be true? How many of you guys hear that? Okay, I need everybody raise your hand. You can promise me. I will never say, even you guys at home, I will never say the technology is too good to be true. If you say it, you just made it true. If you say this is too good to be true, and I don't know, but no. If you don't believe that this is true, no one you talk to is going to believe that it's true. That's called belief. And if we hedge our belief, because we want to put ourselves out there, we don't want to put ourselves, listen, I'm all in, I buy this, I use this, I believe in this is real. You have one sliver, 1% of doubt in your conviction, people will have 99% doubt in your conviction in what you're saying. Fact? Imagine if you're gonna go buy a car. How's this car? You know. Okay, I don't know, but you like it, you can try it, I like it. You'd be like, I'm not buying from this guy, I'm not buying this car. This guy's not even sold on what he's recommending me. Does that make sense? Right? No one, somebody you're talking to can't have bigger conviction than us. We're all in, we're on the ship, we're on the SS Super Patch. Right? We're throwing other people lifelines to get on our boat. We're not looking for the lifeboat to get on and swim away. Right? I hope not. Right? Got the same page here. And conviction is contagious. Enthusiasm is contagious. Right? And people only want to work with people that are enthusiastic. Right? That's just human nature. Human nature. Okay? But I got some big news. So why us? We're 100% drug-free. Immediate and proven results. Millions of people helped. 30-day money-back guarantee. The product's made in the United States, right next door in Minnesota. 95% user rating through the roof. Massive. But guess what? There's more. Amazing clinical trials that we're going to share with you today. You want to see bigger? FDA ready. Holy moly. Yeah, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. It's as big as this is. FDA registration took 12 years. 12 years in the making. This took 12 years. We got Super Patch FDA registered. Where's your conviction now? Is it maybe try it, maybe not try it, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? I don't know, it might work for you. Is that what we're gonna say? No, this works, dude. Money back guarantee FDA registered. Here's the study. Get this patch on. Change your life. Because I did my part. Don't get confused. I don't need thanks. I need work. I need workers on my team. I need an army. Because I told you, I don't want to do this 33 years. I might not have 33 years. Right? There's 1,000 people, 1,000 eyeballs on this thing today with here and online. 33 years just became 3.5 years. Weird, right? Yeah. Let that sink in. That's how fast it can move. But I can't do it myself. Right? So it gets better. It gets better. We're not done. March 15th, we're launching it to the side, thinking about habits, whatever it is. Take back control of your life. Right? So what does that look like? We all know what bad habits look like, and we all have people in our lives that have some habits that we want to help them break. Right? Kick a patch in the back office on the shopping cart, March 15th. Might happen sooner. Might happen sooner. On March 15th, just drop that date. And then we're launching the Joy Patch April 1st. Hope and happiness like never before. Somebody got the blahs, put on the Joy Patch. You want to feel enthusiastic, you want to feel optimistic, you want to feel happy, put on the Joy Patch. Somebody's got the winter blahs, put on the Happy Patch. Right? And I'm telling you this, guys, right now, and my friend Peter Hurwitz is here today. Peter's the principal at Clarity Sciences. They're the clinical research organization that's been working on us in our studies. And he and I talking last night and even early this morning, we're always going to have studies on the go that just show the validation, show the proof, show the proof, show the proof. Then it's scientifically validated. What happens then is you don't need to worry about it. Your job becomes show and tell. And we're going to talk about show and tell in a little bit. Right? Show and tell is the storytelling. You're telling your story. Show them the product and tell your story. Remember in school we did show and tell? Was that fun? We have the best show and tell product ever. Right? So without further ado, I want to introduce Peter here in just a second, but I want to get through the big parts here. So with the different products we have, from an economic standpoint, people are spending $500 billion on these solutions every year that we have. From pain, to stress, to sleep, to recovery, athletic performance, supplementation. $500 billion a year, minimum people are spending every year because these are solutions that they want. Right? So we said, well, who do I talk to? Let me share this with you. How big is this market? How many people can we help? How many people looking for pain? 1.8 billion people. Energy and fatigue, 2 billion people. People with sleep issues, 6 billion people. 7 out of 10 people in the world have sleep issues. Stress, 2.4 billion people. Immune support, 1 billion people. Obesity and weight management, 1.9 billion people. Fitness, 1 billion people. Mobility people. Focus on students, 1 billion kids out there that could benefit from our technology. So who do we have? Do we ever want to hear I have no one to talk to? Customer. I mean, does that make sense? There's no, I mean, I don't know what to say beyond that, right? I mean, we can help every single family in the world, probably more than one person in that family, with something that they either want to improve or something they want to overcome, right? So, and the way that we do it is amazing, right? We got product technology leadership. We spent over $10 million in R&D. The way that we work with our teams and our associates is simple, no gimmicks, no limits. There's no snakes and ladders in our business, right? We all know that, right? We don't do, well, you're here now, but not really. We don't do that. Easy to join and no risks. We have a 30-day money-back product guarantee. So what is there to risk for anyone? For a little bit of money to try it out for $60, either their life will change, and then what is it worth? Right? Maybe the question is that, hey, listen, if it works for you, it's $1,000. If it doesn't work for you, you don't pay me anything. Right? There's no risk in trying our product. Right? So, but these are the convictions that we need. This is the conviction that everybody in this room and everybody online needs to have. Because if we don't have it, the world's not going to have it. The world's not going to share our enthusiasm, right? But and part of that conviction is what we're going to talk about next. I want to welcome Peter Hurwitz here today. As I mentioned, Peter is the principal Clarity Sciences. He's our clinical research organization partner. He's been working with us now almost a year now on a number of different studies. He's going to share with you findings of a recently completed studies. I don't want to take away Peter's thunder, but please help me welcome Peter Hurwitz.
Everybody can hear me? Home as well? Stay close to the chair. Stay close to the So let me just tell you a little bit about my background. 35 years in the healthcare space. Started beginning in the 90s, launching a drug for J&J called Duragesic transdermal fentanyl. It was a patch for cancer patients. That led obviously to 10 years later, the beginning of the opioid crisis, because they were using some of those opioids that were originally intended for cancer patients for non-cancer patients. And that's where you got the Purdue Pharma and all these OxyContin issues, et cetera, and it really blew up. For the last probably 15 or 20 years, I've made a commitment to to see if we could identify alternative therapies and treatment strategies for that opioid crisis. So I've worked with the White House, both Congress and Senate over the last 3 administrations to see if we can identify some of those novel opportunities and treatment approaches, working in conjunction with various experts in the pain space. I'm on the board of several pharmaceutical companies. I work with Allergan, with botulinum neurotoxin, Botox, not on the cosmetic side, as you can tell, but on the therapeutic side, launching a couple indications for pain, one of them overactive bladder, and some others migraine headache that we've been able to do. Have been a clinical researcher for the last 11 or 12 years. I'm a TV anchor for a physician's television station out of New York. I attend last year, I think, pre-COVID, 54 medical congresses, interviewing the scientific committees on air for about 130,000 US physicians across all specialties in terms of what's the new research, what are the new guidelines, what are they saying? FDA interviews, CEDAR interviews, etc. And so I don't have a skin in the game here. I'm a researcher through and through. I was chuckling. Where's Steve at? Steve, raise your hand. There he is in the back. Steve. So I was chuckling when Steve was saying, out of the blue, I got a call from Jay, etc. Similarly, I got a call from Jay. And again, I don't advertise our researching business. We're pretty successful in terms of working with big pharma. And he called me up, and I get probably 3 to 4 calls a month from people. I don't want to say similar to Jay, but reach out and see one of our published studies. We've done about 40 of them that have been published in peer-reviewed journals, scientific peer-reviewed journals over the last 10 years or so. And each one of them is a big deal. And so people tend to read them. A lot of the scientists, a lot of the clinicians, both US and in other parts of North America and worldwide, and they'll reach out to me and say, hey, I read this study. Can you do a study for us? I've got this product, etc. Jay called me up and did something similar. I mean, I don't want to repeat what Steve said, but it was pretty much the same thing. I've got this product. I read some of your studies. I want to do the study. Well, tell me about your, again, 3 or 4 months. I want to do a study. We have this, neuroscience technology. It's, it, sends a signal to the brain, neural pathways, etc. And again, I'm in the pain space. It's okay. Heard it. No drug, non-invasive. Patch started with socks, etc. Okay. Not necessarily brushing them off, but I've heard it before, and I've heard the pitch before, and I'm a data-driven guy. And so he said, I'm thinking about doing a study or what have you. Would you come up to Toronto? Would I come up to Toronto? My usual answer is wherever that is. My plate's kind of full at the moment, especially if, I don't have the data. There's no real research from my perspective, validated research that I can hang my hat on. And I hadn't researched, Jay and Jay's company and Jay's product. But again, we've sold, several million of these socks with the technology. And my response was, how many returns you get? Well less than 1%. Okay, light bulb, ears raised a little bit, intrigued. And so I did come up to Toronto, and it wasn't negative 147 degrees Celsius. I'm again US, so I can't do the conversion, carry the 9, divide by 3. I don't know what it is. I think it was even colder last February when I actually came up. And I didn't bring a coat because I left Rhode Island where I live, and it was like 55 degrees. So, after we had sat down for a little bit, he says, I want to do some research. And going through it, I said, okay, but if you're going to do it, you have to do it right. You're going to be hands off. And, I've got to control it and be independent. I'm going to get US physicians or worldwide experts who know the space to basically, I'm not a clinician, I'm a researcher, but I always have the clinicians validate what I think, and I've been in the business long enough to identify those who are pretty much the leaders, presidents of the various medical associations now, to say, okay, is this something that we would want to get into and invite them to be a principal investigator to see if that would be a viable potential option, knowing what they know or don't know in the field. And we'll go through it. And as soon as they say, yes, interesting, intriguing, or whatever, okay, it checks my boxes as well. And so I agreed to conduct a study with Jay. And again, guys and ladies, I don't have to be here. Got a wife and 7 kids at home. It's a Saturday morning. You don't have to be here, and you don't have to obviously take out. Take time for those of you watching here as well. Sometimes my wife, likes it when I'm out of the house. And I say, going to her condo, have a good time. So I'll go through a little bit about now. So we decided to do the study. And when we're talking about a study, you need validation. And in the US and worldwide, I've got a couple formal clinical trials going on right now for FDA. FDA about 3 or 4 years ago came out with new guidelines called real world evidence. And they said, okay, instead of those formal clinical trials where it costs several $1 million and several years to complete, there's also something called real world evidence where we are actually seeing actual people in the actual response of the actual therapeutics to see if they work in the real world environment. All those formal clinical trials for FDA regulation, FDA approval, et cetera, are very strictly controlled in terms of parameters. And so they don't, even though they may say for safety and efficacy, et cetera, to make sure that there's no serious adverse events that people will have, but safety is the primary reason why it is so controlled with FDA. And obviously doesn't work in terms of efficacy. For a non-invasive patch, non-drug patch, the level is a little bit less than something that you're jabbing into you, going systemic, et cetera. All right, so having a non-invasive, non-drug type of product is intriguing, especially now with the opioid crisis and some of those other areas. I've worked very closely with the NFL, National Football League, and the Players Association, because a lot of those 30-year-olds who are now retired after several years in the NFL, at the end of each, if they were in it for a little bit, at the end of each day, whether it be a practice or their game, they actually had little packs of pills on their locker room seat to recover from the battering that they took during the day. If they did not get ready and were ready for the next day, somebody else was right behind them to take their place. And so they live with that. And so I've worked with the NFL, PA, and some of the retired players to really share some of those things that we've been able to do to try and find some of those alternatives to the NSAIDs and anti-inflammatories and prescription opioids that so many people take because they don't have an option. They don't think they have an option. And the toxicities and the side effects, whether it be ulcers or gastric bleeding or other things, are very real. And so close to my heart is trying to find and identify other alternatives. And so we developed, now Jay checked, green lighted it. And so me and the scientific team that we have across the country, okay, let's do a study. And an IRB, it's an IRB approved trial. IRB is, and again, you don't have to remember this, but just to share with you a little bit about it. IRB is Institutional Review Board. Institutional Review Board was implemented. All formal trials right now should be IRB approved. IRB, Institutional Review Board, was put in place after World War II when the Nazis were experimenting on people during World War II. In order to make sure that patients who are enrolled in all trials understand the benefits and risks, it goes through an ethical review board to make sure that you are not introducing untoward or benefits or risks specifically that they don't know about, okay, that they're volunteering to be in the study. And so all the studies should be IRB approved. Minimal risk, non-invasive, again, observational study. We're observing the response to a specific treatment that the physician gives to a patient. And in this case, the Freedom Super Patch with VTT, the haptic vibro-tactile trigger technology. And we also looked at the sleep patch, the REM patch, which again, we're just completing the data receipt right now in terms of enrollment, and hopefully we'll have some results to share with you probably in the next 6 to 8 weeks or so. And so in addition to that, we're going to evaluate the success, efficacy of the patch, not only to those patients, but using validated scales. So again, if somebody out there did a study and asked the patient, hey, did it work well, or didn't it work well, or what have you, it's really a non-objective study. So in order to get over some of those critiques and validation, you want to incorporate various scales and validated scales that have been tested already over 1,000, 2,000 times in other studies to make sure that the questions are objective, not subjective. All right. So you're not leading the patient or whomever's answering those survey questions in the wrong direction. So these are all validated scales. For the pain patch, we used the brief pain inventory. It was developed in 1974 by Charlie Copeland, I know, at MD Anderson. And it was originally used for cancer patients and evaluating their cancer pain. So we've used that. It's still in use today. We use it in the pain studies that we do pretty much all the time because it is validated. And when you end up having the results and they're positive or negative, people can't critique the way you ask the questions. Very, very important. Okay. And then for the sleep one, we used another validated scale. In addition to that, we also want to say, okay, well, if they have a response to the active treatment, what happens if we introduce a control group or one that's not active? And we're doing that as well. So I'll share with you really the process of that particular study. As I said, we identify experts. And again, I run everything by experts before I get involved with a study. In the pain so this Harmony study had a pain arm with a pain patch and the sleep arm with the sleep patch. Sleep patch, again, we're going to evaluate later on. But both arms of the study in Harmony are led by 2 international experts. You guys can look these guys up. They talk, they're presidents, past presidents of their various associations. Paul is a sleep specialist out of Pennsylvania. Jeff, who I've known for 25 years, was a professor in New Jersey, at Rutgers and part of Englewood Hospital, and now is a professor of medicine of pain down in Miami, at University of Miami. Large practice. So what did we consider for inclusions into this study? Ages 18 to 85, both males and females. They have to provide written informed consent. That's that IRB avenue. They have to recognize and understand the benefits and the risks of the study. They've received a freedom patch from their physician, and they've been diagnosed with mild, moderate, severe, acute, or chronic pain. Again, mild, moderate, severe pain, scale of 1 to 10 is usually defined as mild 0 to 3, moderate 4 to 6, severe 7 to 10 on that scale. Acute or chronic. Acute is something, whether it be because of an injury or illness, can be either acute or chronic. Usually definitions, depending upon who you're speaking to, expert or non-expert, is acute 3 up to 3, potentially 6 months, chronic after 6 month period of time. What did we exclude? We excluded anybody who had a previous use or current drug abuser, pregnancy, or somebody who has an implantable device. Again, because we don't know, and this is for that safety purpose and the risk, we don't know how those people will respond from a trial perspective. Doesn't mean that these patches aren't useful for them, nor would we have a positive outcome. We didn't study it. Okay. And this study was a 14-day study. The patients were instructed to wear 1 patch per day over those 14 days. When they enrolled in the study at day 0, they filled out a survey. 7 days later, they came back into the physician's office, filled out another survey, same survey with some satisfaction and other type of question. Day 14, they answered another survey. Same survey, same question, with that same scale of brief payment. You can't really see that up there, but this is probably a 3 to 4 minute scale, looking at pain. Brief pain inventory has pain severity. How severe is the pain that you're experiencing right now in the past 24 hours or in the past week or the past few days on a scale of 1 to 10. Okay. And then the interference score. How does your pain interfere with your various daily activities? Sleeping, walking up the stairs, your general mood, all those other type of things, interacting with other people, going to work. All right, we looked at that as well. We also looked at the concurrent medications that the patients were on. Are they taking over-the-counter medications, which a lot of people do? Are they taking anti-inflammatories, the Advils, the Motrins, right? The Aleve of the world? Are they taking prescription medication, Tylenol with codeine that the physician may write for them? Are they taking muscle relaxants for their pain? Are they taking opioids or other types of medication for their pain? So we record those as well, both at day 0, day 7, and day 14. The goal of any study that I do, and the goal of every researcher that when they do a study, is to publish it. And publish it not in some what we call throwaway tabloid magazines for physicians. There are a lot of them out there, but to publish it in a scientific journal that has been peer reviewed, meaning that when a researcher submits data from a study that they've done, it will be sent to probably no less than 2 to 4 reviewers, blinded. The reviewers don't know who the authors are. They'll read it for validity, for efficacy, what were the results, and is there a gap that this potential research fills in the marketplace? And then they'll say, okay, the data, the methods were good or they weren't good. They'll either prove it for publication or approve it with changes or ask queries back to the researchers before they approve it, and it has to be a unanimous consent to publish it in their journal. And so the top thing that a researcher can do is get something published in a peer-reviewed scientific journal. So I'll go through it, but what we did with Harmony is 2 weeks ago, this was published in the Journal of Anesthesia. 40 studies and Jay, once the supporter or funder approves it for our company to do, the clinical research organization, now it's up to the principal investigators to oversee the study. Principal investigators don't know Jay. I think we've introduced on the phone a couple of times. They have no skin in the game, and it's their butt on the line. It's their reputation, right? And so they're not going to pimp themselves out. They work for Jeff, I think, consults for probably 15 different major pharmaceutical companies. And when he does a study, he'll publish the results, whether they're positive or negative. And so, you know, that's a coin flip at the beginning. You say, okay, your hands off, Jay. You know, it could go either way. I don't know how it's going to go. Sounds good, right? I don't know how it's going to go. They turned out very positive as we go through. To have the names of, you know, Jeff on it is a pretty big deal. So what did the results show? So we had 148 patients, 96 females, 56 males. Don't worry about memorizing these numbers. I think Jay is going to send you, it's online, it's published. So you can actually Google it and you'll see it. And he'll send you the PDF.
I'll send you guys a PDF to everybody here, and we'll have it online Monday.
And the great thing about having these types of support material, if you will, is especially as a salesperson, and being in the space for 35 years, and there's a lot of products out there. How do you differentiate? You know, you go to CVS's or Walgreens of the world or whatever, I'm assuming they have those up here as well. How do you differentiate? And there's a lot of these, I don't want to say scammers out there, because the companies that are promoting some of these products with no basis, that may sound the same, that may look the same, that you can get over the counter, that are considered dietary supplements, you know, a lot of these times that they all categorize themselves out, that if you look at the thing, hasn't been FDA approved or reviewed, etc. As you know, the FDA will allow you to get to a certain point before you start getting on the radar. And when you get on the radar is that somebody complains. One of the competitors in the industry says, hey, FYI, they're making claims that they shouldn't be making, or what have you. FDA will reach out and send them a warning letter first, and then it'll get probably a little bit more involved after that, saying, how are you, give me your research to back up some of these claims that you're making through the advertisements, or, you know, through some of these sales forces that a lot of these organizations entail. And so having something like this not only reinforces you guys to say, okay, you can feel very, very confident that now there's validated research, IRB approved research that have been published in a scientific peer-reviewed journal that you can actually have in your bag and know that it's there and feel comfortable and confident that it's there. What it also does is that as patients, not only salespeople, but also as patients, I've used the sleep patch. I love it. Very, very deep sleep, by the way, very, very deep. When again, the noise begins to rise within the industry and there's a lot of sales or a lot of volume, what happens? Well, you as a patient are excited about it. And what do? You go bring it to your doctor. And you go bring it to the doctor saying, hey, I'm using this, it works. What do you think? And the doctor, clinicianally, you know, professionally trained physician, where's the data? What's the research, right? And if there isn't any, they're going to say, don't know about it. I think you're wasting your money, right? And there's no data out there. Never heard of it before. They can actually now, well, yes, there is actually, right? And they can actually do that. That's another huge benefit for this, because a lot of the clinicians out there, all they want is that validation to show it. They may not know about it. Once they see it, they buy into it. Once they see the names that are on it, the authors of Jeff and others, they buy into it. What did we look at? Out of the 148 patients, we had patients whose primary pain complaint was arthritis, neuropathy, radiculopathy, which is, you know, radiating pain, and then myofascial musculoskeletal pain. A lot of low back, obviously a lot of knees, lower leg extremities, upper back, shoulders, neck, etc. We wanted to see if after using the patch for 7 or 14 days, was there a change in the severity of their pain and the interference that pain brings in their everyday life. what did we show? On the severity score, over 14 days, the severity score almost 50%. Huge deal, huge deal. P, if you look at that, I'm not a stat guy, Mr. Stat Guy is over there. P is, less than 0.001. What that means, it's the best stat that you can get in the P value. What that means is that the result, 1 in 1,000, that they're by chance. Okay, so based on the number of people in the study, it powered it properly, that even if you had, and again, results, again, you guys aren't neuroscientists, I'm a researcher, I tend to get into this. When you throw a big bunch, if I took a poll of all of you right now, the results would probably look like a bell curve, right? A bell curve is just, an upside down bell. Actually, a regular bell. And you have the outliers, the extremes, and you have really, if you have enough people, a big group in the middle. That big group in the middle is what validates in terms of statistics. And so the larger and stronger that middle part is, the stronger the data is. And that's where you get to that point, 0.001. So the severity out of a score of 10, that first line, they started at a 4 out of a 10. After 14 days after using the patch, they basically cut it in half to 2.5. On the interference score, also decreased 50%, 0.001. Interaction, how does it interfere? Sleeping, walking, working, there's 7 components to it. Started at almost 2.5, ended up, again, almost half of that, 1.29, 0.001. Can't get any better. How much did their physical activity change from the start, when they started the patch, versus 7 days and 14 days? Light physical exercise, moderate, heavy, all increased during the time. And it was 0.001 for baseline to day 14 and day 7 to 14 as well. After 14 days of wearing the patch, 82% of the patient reported less or a lot less the use of oral medications. Statistically significant positive outcomes, 0.001 again, in all measured quality of life. This is in addition to the severity decrease, the interference decrease, now quality of life. How are your quality of life improvements in general activity, mood, relationship with other people, sleep, normal workload, walkability, enjoyment? All 0.00. Out of the 148 patients, there was only 1 reported adverse event, swelling, deemed as non-serious by the clinician. In the US for IRB approved studies, every single adverse event, whether it be a rash, whether it be a heart attack, whether it be a stroke, or what have you, has to be reported if that person is enrolled in the study. Does it mean that the adverse event is due to the actual product being studied? No, you have to report it. Okay, so I don't know about this one at 148. There's 1. Nobody else had any adverse events reported. There was swelling. Again, it wasn't serious. They stopped the treatment. They withdrew from the study, and it resolved. Was it due to the patch itself? Who knows? And we'll never know, really. But you have to report it. People reported their self-perceived pain relief. This is in addition to the validated scales we use. Now, what they think happened? Personally, how did they think they did? Because again, they don't remember what they put on survey 1 when they got to day 7. Day 14, they're filling out the surveys again. They don't remember what they put in. They don't have copies of it. They don't remember what they did when they enrolled or a week later after they went back to their doctors. Looking at increments of 0 to 10 again, with complete relief being number 10. What did they think happened with the patch? At baseline, they said they had about 27.5% relief from their current medications. The current medications they were taking, those over-the-counters, those NSAIDs, those opioids if they were on opioids. Day 7, after using the patch, 61% noticed a pain relief, higher obviously, double than that 27% that showed relief. Day 14, 72% saw pain relief after use. So then we looked at, okay, what was the percentage of pain relief from baseline to day 7, 0.001, there you go again, and then from baseline to day 14, 0.001. How did their concurrent use of medication change over that period of time? 82% reported a lot less usage of oral medications. What actually happened? 55% at baseline were taking an over-the-counter product. 53% were taking a prescription anti-inflammatory. 16% were taking a muscle relaxant. 2% taking an opioid. At day 14, 11 patients were still using a prescription anti-inflammatory. You look above, 79, 53% of patients. So it went from 79 down to 11 after day 14, 0.001. That's an 87% reduction in 2 weeks of using the patch for those people who are on prescription. Numbers were a little less. 24 were taking a muscle relaxant, 2%. 3 of them were taking an opioid. But in the muscle relaxants, went from 24 to 2 patients at day 7, and then obviously 24 to 1 patient at day 14. Also a big deal. 0.001. Baseline for opioids was only 3 of them. We actually went from 3. I didn't put it on here. It went from 3 to 1 person using an opioid. Significant. You only had 3 people. You can't really make a judgment whether or not that was true if you had 100 people on opioids at the beginning. Still a decrease, but I'm only sharing with you those 0.001. But you did see find 3 to 1 out of what you got. Good deal also. How the patients use it? At the beginning of the study, they were told and instructed to use 1 patch per day. 134, 91% of patients reported that they did use that in that fashion almost all the time, kept it on all the time. Of the 14 patients, when they felt better, they took it off. And then they put it on again when pain came back. Okay, but we have to report it. We didn't do as instructed. It's an observational study. It's not that control from a formal FDA clinical trial. Day 7, 55% reported that it felt pain relief in less than 20 minutes after applying the patch. At day 7, again, 35% reported that it took longer than 20 minutes. What happened if you look from day 7 to 14, more patients reported that they felt pain relief. That could have been where they placed it, right? If they placed it, maybe sometimes you have to adjust the location, and they got more comfortable with it. And again, they don't remember what they said their previous survey. Patient satisfaction, scale of 1 to 5, day 14, 4.6, easy to apply and convenient. 4.2, preferred over oral pills, medication, preferred over other pain relieving. We are so ingrained to take something by mouth, right? Physicians are so ingrained to write an oral prescription, all right? What you're seeing here, and we've seen this in other studies we've done, is that people just like putting something in their mouth because they think it's going to work, It's a habit, and it's habit forming, whether it be smoking, putting something to their mouth, one of the smoking, kicking the habits, and, looking forward to the new patches coming out for that, is one of the smoking cessation companies I worked for actually was, when we were doing a study several years ago, we're giving them Tootsie Rolls or a lollipop to put in their mouth because of that just hand motion of smoking, right? So it's just that constant habitual thing. Some of this 4.2 is still great, in between strongly agree that it's preferred. You're still going to have a section of people who want to put something in their mouth. Day 14, overall satisfaction. 1 out of 5. Also, very satisfied or extremely satisfied. So what did the results show? This is all in the paper, by the way. And this is all these, it's not me making up these words. These are signed off by Jeff, the professor who put his name
behind this article. Study results indicate that this non-pharmacologic, non-invasive packaging fibroprotectile trigger technology embedded topical patch reduces pain severity and interference with medications, including prescribed anti-inflammatory other oral medication for adult patients with arthritic, neuropathic, and musculoskeletal pain. It suggests that the patch has incredible potential to be added to the current arsenal of non-invasive and non-pharmacologic pain therapies. He's not talking to consumers right now. He's talking to his peers and other clinicians. Consumers don't read Journal of Anesthesia and Pain Research. Further evaluation, including data from the control that we're doing, the crossover groups, are forthcoming and should support the use of the OTC pain patch as first line non-pharmacological treatment option as part of the multimodal treatment program. Big deal.
So congratulations for being here. You've taken a good step. And again, you know, Tom, what you said earlier, you know, you're a small group of people, you know, I just got introduced this less than a year ago. And so I'm pretty pleased what we've been able to show. Pretty excited about what this means, not only for the field from a personal perspective in the pain space of giving another alternative treatment, but also what it can do, not only this patch, but some of the others that we will be studying and hopefully seeing positive results over the years. So good luck to you. I am out of this cold weather. I'm going to catch a plane. But thanks very much for having me.
Somebody said build it, they will come. Let's hear it for Peter Hurwitz again. And just to show, you know, it's not complete. We're going to add the control and the crossover to the study. There'll be more findings published very, very soon. Sleep study, Peter's saying 6 to 8 weeks away. So sometime early March, end of February, we'll have that in our hands again. You know, big uphill to make sure that we get great results, hopefully on that. I'm pretty confident because we've all seen the efficacy already for ourselves, so we have a good idea of what's going to come down the pipe. But what this does, gang, it's, you guys ever have that? You ever see a dry eraser with the marker? So in your mind, write excuses and take that dry eraser and just start erasing those from our own belief system and those that we're talking to. There is no greater validation left. Okay, you pair this with the demonstration of the technology, you pair this with the research, you pair this with the videos that we've created for you. It becomes, we talked about it before, show and tell. Right, and everybody has a certain level of evidence they want. We've got all the evidence anybody should. We have enough evidence for an MD. If you meet somebody that's not an MD and they're pushing back, lesson release. No, I'm serious. Right? You can't. Right? Skepticism in the face of evidence is stubbornness. I don't have a stubbornness patch yet. My kids would probably put 2 or 3 on it, but that's a different story. Right? I use the word resilient. That's not right. There is so much exciting things to share. We're not done yet. Where is my main man, Steve? Steve, coming up here, brother. We got so much more stuff to share. Cool. Here. Right. No, listen, Steve has more energy. I think we all know this. And people think Steve's pretending to have energy. I call Steve 7 o'clock in the morning, same energy. I call Steve at noon, same energy. I call Steve at 5 p.m., same energy. I call Steve at 11 p.m., same energy. And I'm like, I might listen to a recording. There's some other guy there. Does he have a twin? No, and he takes this. Steve takes everything personally. What do I mean? He is so committed to everyone's success that it's personal. When the field is genuinely doing a great job and they're succeeding, he's genuinely happy for everybody. When things aren't going the way that he intends for them and want for them to go, he's genuine in his expression that, you know what, I'm not happy. This needs to be, and that genuineness, ladies and gentlemen, is irreplaceable. It's irreplaceable. So I couldn't be happier and more proud of this man right here. So Steve.
Do you guys feel like you're in the right place at the right time? That meter just went up.
Hey, brother.
Yes.
The more you address the mic here, I'm gonna put like this.
Hello, microphone. My name is Steve.
There you
How
go.
are you? Nice to meet you. I'll address the mic. We're good to go. I was watching what was going on here this morning. And the announcements that we've made so far could be enough for a convention. I mean, you guys, we just announced a pain study that gives us unbelievable credibility. Like when you walk into your doctor, you're like, well, where's the study? You know what your doctor's expecting you to say? Oh, we don't have one. As a matter of fact, here it is. We also announced that we are FDA registered. That alone is convention worthy. We also announced 2 new patches.
Yes.
Kick it. Enjoy. I am so patched up right now, you don't even know it. All right? I said the numbers wrong. I have 8 patches on. It's like, how can that guy have 8 patches on? Now, you take all of that information. It's like, all right, what's next? You know, when Jay talks about taking this to 1 billion people, we can't do it ourselves. You know, 33 years ago, when I got involved in this crazy business, the biggest mistake that I made was I thought I could do it by myself. I'm like, I'm just going to go get a bunch of customers. I'm just going to get a bunch of customers and make a bunch of money. And I would go do trade shows and I set up booths in malls and all this kind of stuff. And I would sign up a bunch of customers who would leave me in 30 days because I had no relationship with them. And I finally looked at the successful people in the company and realized that they all had between 20 and 30 personal customers. And so I would go up to these people and say, what did you do? They said, we built a team of people and taught them how to gather 20 or 30 customers. And I said, I can do that. I can go out and do that. You guys, when Ray Kroc was building the McDonald's empire, he started the McDonald's empire with hamburgers, shakes, and fries. That's all he had. Hamburgers, shakes, and fries. An unbelievably simple menu. And the McDonald's brothers didn't understand the concept of more outlets. The McDonald's brothers had no interest in franchising their restaurant until Ray Kroc showed up. And Ray Kroc understood that he wasn't even in the restaurant business. What business was Ray Kroc in? Anybody know? He was in the real estate business. Ray was in the real estate business. And the McDonald's brothers didn't understand that at all. And Ray said, listen, we're going to go out there and build more outlets. And we're going to have a really, really simple menu. And we're going to serve hamburgers, shakes, and fries. And we're going to go duplicate that simple system over and over and over and over. And that's exactly what he did. And as the years went on, people came to Ray and said, Ray, dude, we got to have chicken. People are screaming for chicken. And Ray said, no, we don't. We need more outlets. And so Ray went out and opened more outlets. In fact, Ray contacted my grandfather and said, would you like to open an outlet here in Illinois? And my grandfather tells me the story later, and he said no to Ray. You know why? Because my grandfather said, who in the world is gonna want to go out for a hamburger? Way to go, Grandpa. So Ray went out and built more outlets. They built more stores. And the years went by and people came to Ray and said, Ray, we have got to have fish. The Catholics are screaming for fish. And Ray said, no, we don't. We need more outlets. And Ray continued to develop the McDonald's franchise all over the United States and in Canada. Well, the day that McDonald's introduced their McChicken sandwich was the day that McDonald's became the largest distributor of chicken in the world. One day. The day that McDonald's introduced their filet of fish was the day that McDonald's became the largest distributor of fish in the world. McDonald's is the largest distributor of anything that they have. Cups, straws, napkins, toilet paper, toys. McDonald's is the largest toy distributor in the world. Not that one McDonald's restaurant is selling so many Happy Meals. It's just that you've got so many outlets selling a few. That's what we have. If you look at a McDonald's franchise today, and you look at that and go, that's kind of nice to own. Get a piece patch on immediately. Because you look at that restaurant and go, it's kind of a happy place. Until you realize you got to hire teenagers. And you got to deal with the supply chain. And you got to shovel that walk every now and then. If you look at that McDonald's franchise right there, you're like, okay, I could probably make a living with that franchise. Not going to make a life, but you're going to make a living, right? And if this is you, right there, right there off of North Carolina, and that's your McDonald's franchise, you'd be like, it's cool. I own a McDonald's franchise. I am Ronald McDonald. And you're like, things are good. But how would you like to pick up a percentage of all of the Happy Meals and every single sandwich that is sold by all of those McDonald's restaurants, not just in the United States, not just in Canada, not just in the UK, but soon to be all over the world? Okay, stop it. The meter just hit 0. You guys got to understand what we have here. Nobody does what we do. And we've got a pain study that says this is backed by science, not from Jay Dollywall, by these people who don't even know who Jay is. The urgency of what we have in front of us, when I tell Jay that we are going to dwarf what I was able to do in my first 33 years, Jay looks at me a little bit sideways. He's like, can we do it? I'm like, yes, we can do it. And if we don't do it with the people in this room, it will be somebody else. But you guys are here first. And those of you that are watching, the people that are in this room and the people that are watching, this is our team. This is our team. It is going to happen with or without any of us in this room. You guys be looking at me right now going, I wish this guy would shut up so we can get to work. So now, the question is, yeah, what time is it? I know. We got 6 hours left. We're good. The magnitude of what we have. When you look at this map, I apologize that I didn't have one of Canada with all of the McDonald's restaurants on it. Oh, by the way, you guys have waffle fries. That's cause for me to move here. McDonald's has waffle fries. What is that? Gary Helms came up to, no, I was down in Texas. And we went to a Dairy Queen and they have tacos at their Dairy Queen in Texas. I'm like, that's just wrong. Like, we don't have tacos at our Dairy Queens in Wisconsin. That's crazy. But the magnitude of what we have is what you see on the screen. And the question is, replace all those little M's, those yellow M's, with the Super Patch logo. Okay? Want you guys to pick out where you are, and you can see a little bit of Canada up there. But I want you to pick out where you are, and then mentally just go, I've got people here, 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 here. And then get mad. And then get really mad. Because it doesn't look like that mad. Because when your organization looks like that, it's over. It's over. Jay already showed this screen. When you talk about the magnitude of what we have, with billions of people need what we have. And Jay talked about the difference between 1 million and 1 billion. You know, you could spend $3,600 a minute and not run out of money for 33 years. Yeah. And if you just concentrated on pain, that's 1.6 billion people. You could take each one of our patches and just focus on that, and it's $1 billion industry. Just pain industry. 6 billion people have trouble with sleep. What if you just focused on sleep? But here's what happens, you guys. This is why this is so amazing. When you prove the technology, because I've had people go, well, Steve, yeah, but I was talking to my friend and she's having trouble sleeping. Why would I do the demo on her? Why would I demo the Liberty Patch on her? Because you're proving the technology. Prove that the technology works. And when you show them how the technology works, put a pen in their hand and have them close their eyes. When you prove that it works, then you go, and I've got one to help you sleep. They're like, oh my gosh, if that works as well as this does, I'm in. So prove the technology. And guys, when you prove the technology and you say, I've got one to help people sleep, I've got one to help people with stress, you're looking at the screen and the slide on the screen right now, and you're going, billion, multiple billions of people need what we have. And all we have to do is prove the technology and answer a few questions. They will tell you what they need. You just provide the solution. So now, ready for, I think this is big.
Oh, come on.
Chandon, can you check the meter over there? Is the excitement level okay? A little low? It's a little low. Might not work. Okay. The biggest question that I get is, what do I do? How do I do this? Okay. So we're going to answer that question right now for you. And I want you to look at the screen because listen, you can go out there and make some money gathering customers. And you can create it. You can make a living doing that. But you can create a life by showing other people how to do the same thing. Like that McDonald's graph slide that I shared with you. The key is finding other people to do what you're doing, okay? Now, when we enroll somebody as an associate, how much is it? Okay, with everything that's been announced, don't you think we need to kind of raise that? Probably. Knowing what you know today, wouldn't you pay 10, 20, 30, 50 grand to get in this thing? Hey, it'll cost you $1.2 million to get a McDonald's franchise, just the licensing right. Just to say you want to own a restaurant, $1.2 million. So we're sharing you something going, well, $50 is ridiculous. We can't keep it at 50. And you know what Jay said? No, we can't keep it at 50. I'm not going to say a word. You figure it out.
Wow.
All the people at home can read the slide better than you guys can. I know you can. I know. All right, it costs $50 to enroll. And look what you get. Okay, I'm going to skip all the way down to the bottom in the yellow circle. You're getting $75 worth of patches. Everybody who enrolls is going to get the Liberty patch, the 28 pack of Liberty, and the 4 pack of Freedom. Okay? So when somebody pays $50 to enroll, they're getting $75 worth of product. Is that a good deal? Now, why do you suppose we put the Freedom patch in there? Let's see. There might have been a pain study that just came out. Is it a complete no-brainer for people to enroll as an associate today? Yes. It's a complete no-brainer. And when you look at owning your own business for $50, it's a joke. How many of you in this room, hypothetically at home, own your own business, not Super Patch? How many of you own? Okay. Did it cost you more than $50 to start that business? Guys, your front door costs more than $50, right? This is $50. It's going to inventory all of your product. They're going to collect all of the money. They're going to send out your product for you. They'll even set up a customer service department for you. $50. Oh, and we're going to give you $75 worth of product. When somebody says no to this, listen, they're not necessarily saying no, that's not a good deal. They're saying no, they don't want to do it. And that's okay. I'm not going to force anybody. I'm not going to drag anybody across this, finish line of success. It's like, hey, this is what we do. There's no risk on your part whatsoever. The 30-day money-back guarantee. Let's go give it a shot. So now the question is, what do we do? And they get a welcome kit. Yes. Home viewers, this is the new welcome kit. We designed the cover. We'll get all the content later. Kidding, just kidding. Okay. What's inside this darn thing? All right, let's walk through this. I'm going to go quickly because I'm not going to be able to go through all of this. Inside this new welcome kit is a playbook. Okay, it's a playbook. And inside this playbook gives everybody all of the instruction that they need to be successful. In fact, the very first couple of pages, it talks about our mission and who Jay is and all that kind of stuff. But then these pages right here, this is how somebody goes out and creates their own story. We're going to help people create their own story. Guys, when you see us do the Zooms on Tuesdays and Paul and Terry, you guys are doing stuff on Mondays, you don't need any PowerPoint slides. You don't need any slides. You need your story. Your story is the presentation. So you go create your story. We're going to show people how to create their story and then go out and share their story with other people. And as you page through this booklet, it tells you how to contact people, what to say to people. What do you do on day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9? It is paint by numbers, and we're giving you the paintbrush. All right? Also, in the welcome kit is this document, setting the proper expectations. Now, setting the proper expectations before enrollment. The biggest problem that I think people have is that they bring somebody into the business and trust, let me know if this is you. You bring somebody in the business and they don't do anything. Now, I know you guys don't have that problem, right? You know whose fault that is? Yours. It's yours. Yeah, we're getting down to where the rubber meets the road here. It's your fault because you did not give that person the proper expectations. You painted this big rosy picture of how easy this business is, and then they get in and they start working it and go, I don't think I can do this. But if you set the expectations before they enroll, when you do the demo, they're all excited about it, you talk about the income opportunity, and don't be afraid to talk about the income opportunity. Let them know. And when they look at this and go, yeah, I think this is something I want to do, I said, all right, now here's what we're going to do. First of all, what do you want to get out of this? Just give me a number. Do you have a number in mind? Like, you want to make an extra 500 a month, 1,000 a month? Just kind of they're not going to really know what that means, but just get a general idea. Because if somebody says to me, Steve, it'd be great if I could make an extra, $500 to $1,000 a month, that'd be great. I said, okay, here's what we're going to do. And I have this conversation with them before I enroll them. And I say, okay, what we're going to do is you're going to enroll and you're going to get on a $90 smart chip every month. And the reason we're going to get on 90 is because you need the Liberty patches for yourself, and you're also going to get a pack so that you can demo, just like I did with you. Now, we're also going to go out there and find 3 people that want to do this business with us, and we're going to teach them to do the exact same thing. You're going to go out and get 4 customers. Okay, we're going to get your first 4 or 5 customers, and we're going to do that in our first 30 days. Are you ready to go? They're like, yeah. Now, when somebody says to me, man, if I could make an extra $5,000 a month, I say, awesome. Here's what we're going to do. You're going to get in and you're going to enroll with a smart chip of at least 90, It's probably going to be more than that because you're going to want more of the patches, but at least 90, explain why. And then what we're going to do is we're going to get 3 people in the business. We're going to do that this week. And we're going to help those 3 people bring in their first 3 people in the second week. First week, second week. Because if you want to go out there and make $5,000 in a month, you can't talk to one person this month. Urgency, urgency, urgency. So now when they enroll, and I have this all printed out for you, exactly what to say to someone. If somebody wants to make $1,000 a month, if they want to make $10,000 a month or $5,000 a month, it's right here. Set the proper expectations, because when they enroll and start working the business, and all of a sudden they go, oh man, I told you what it was going to be. I told you this is the game plan. You want to make an extra $5,000 a month, this is what we're going to do. You ready? Boom. Also, inside this document, inside the welcome kit, is the secret to Super Patch marketing. Now, Jay put this whole thing together, okay? And he put on the very top there, a must read. Like the rest of this is like, oh, you can just glance that. But what I absolutely love about this, look at this. Look how big this document is, okay? You got choice A or choice B. And it says here, that choice A, you can become a super patch marketer, and this is the fun and easy way. Choice B is you can become a research scientist. And this is the scary and hard way. And if you notice, the scary and hard way is in red. Like you're going to get cut, you're going to get bruised, and you're going to bleed, right? Because if you try to be a research scientist and you go to your friends and your family members going, it's this something tactile something that Jay said, I don't even know what it is, right? They're going to look at you like, weren't you a 5th grade teacher? What do you know about tactile technology? I'm like, yeah, I don't know anything about that. You are who you are. The fun and easy way is show and tell. You go create your story. We're going to tell you exactly how to do that. And then you're go tell and show your story to other people. That's it. You do not want to be a scary research scientist because you end up losing your hair at a really young age. Yeah, yeah. Also in the new welcome kit is the comp plan at a glance. Now, I have fought with some of you about this. It's a good thing we were on the phone. Because people are like, I don't get the comp plan. It's like, you don't even try to get it. You don't even try. Guys, the comp plan that we had before in the welcome kit, you were not supposed to understand that. When Inder gave me the welcome kit when I first joined the company, I looked at this and went, I've been doing this for 32 years. I don't get it. I don't get that. There were more arrows going to people. I'm like, hamburgers, shakes, and fries, please. It's like, if you want to add waffle fries, that's okay, but not right now. Not right now. And so I created the comp plan at a glance. Now, does this have everything we need to know about our comp plan? No, not everything, but that's okay. That's okay. And if you read this comp plan, the top tells you what you have to do to get promoted to the different ranks, and the bottom tells you why you want to get there. There's more money as you go from left to right. And don't worry about becoming a national vice president until you become qualified. Right? Like, well, how do I become a national, Steve? I don't know. Do you got your, do you have your smart ship set up yet? It is monkey see, monkey do. But all I know is this thing pays out like a slot machine. This thing pays out like a slot machine. You know what I tell people when they say, well, what's the comp plan? And people who know the industry, they go, oh, is it a binary? Is it a unilevel? It's a unilevel. That means you can go as wide as you want to. And I tell people, say, yeah, the comp plan's easy. You get paid 25% on all your personal volume, and you get paid 2 to 15% on all the volume in your organization, paid to an unlimited number of levels. That's it. That's it. That's all I tell them. Once they get to vice president or, higher, you sit back and go, well, wait a minute. As a managing director, there's something here about a 2% down to the next generation, 5%. It's like, can you get there? And then we'll have this conversation. Let's just get there. And what about these pools here? It's like, oh, can we get there first? Show and tell, let's get there first. The next thing that's in this new welcome kit is your first 30 days and your next 30 days. Okay, I'm just going to let you figure this out. Who else has figured it out besides Carrie? If you figured something out, raise your hand. You see the big stars that's highlighted? The hat trick bonus and the all-star bonus are now $200 in cash, $400 in cash, not product credits. Okay? Okay? All right, the only person who's going to get that bonus is Michael Copperwhite, because he's the one most excited about it. It tells you what to do in your first 30 days and how much money you can make if you do this. You do it your next 30 days. So your first 60 days is outlined on this piece of paper right here, and how much money people can make if they stay in the lines. Don't put leaves on the trees. Let it be a snow scene. Stay in the lines. And then also in this little document here, How to follow up with social media. Do you think we need any training on that?
Yes.
If you're over 40, you need training. Deal with it. Deal with it. Okay? Also, the magic of three-way calls. Do you know who's really, really good at three-way calling? Me. Me. Michael, how many three-way calls have we done? Dozens. Harry, how many three-way calls have we done? A lot. You guys, the magic of three-way calls tells you exactly how to conduct them. Because when you bring that third party in, that's where the credibility lies. What else do we have here? We've got a product catalog. Okay. That describe all of the patches.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, great.
Some of you are like,
Oh,
yeah, but where are the socks? Oh, you're talking about the iPhone 6 again. I told you it's going to be different when you walk out of this room. Okay? We also have customer tracking sheets, lead tracking sheets, people that are sampling our product tracking sheets. We only put one of those in here. Go make copies. People can make copies of this. Okay? And and then we've got some decals. I'm missing one. Here's one decal. You can put that on your computer. All right? We have a red one too. All right?
How do we get this? kid
Oh,
as
I
old?
don't know how you're going to get this kid as old. How many of you, yep, I know. How many of you are, how many of you want this? Yay, we should have thought about that before the event. Yeah, we should have thought about that. We thought we had everything covered. All right. You can buy the welcome kit. One welcome kit. So you pay $50, you get all of this plus $75 worth of patches. And we're actually not letting you out of the room until you make that purchase. We'll find out who the players are. And you at home, you guys, order this now. Okay? Now, if you notice, also on the screen, there's a QR code. Okay? When you scan that QR code, it takes you to a landing page that has all of these documents that you can print out. Okay? Or some of them, I think most of them. And it also has all of the videos that you can share. Okay? And here's an example of one of the videos that was created that you can share.
Today, we're going to talk about our red patch. This is the world's first and only drug-free sleep patch. Let's get a little background on sleep neurology to understand what the red patch does and how it works. Every physical, emotional, and psychological function has a neural code that controls and regulates it. Neural codes are just signals transmitted as brainwaves. Sleep is also a physiological function that is managed by these complex signals. Neural networks are how different regions of the brain interact with each other through neural signals. Leading studies show that sleep states can be better synchronized if these regions interact in a well-balanced way. A key neural network for good sleep is the hypothalamic cortical network. Well-balanced interaction of the neural signals in this network is shown to be important for the initiation and maintenance of healthy human sleep. So how do we improve this neural network? Easy. We apply the REM super patch. The REM super patch has this very intricate and special pattern of ridges on it. It's like a QR code. However, when these ridges on the pattern come in contact with our skin, they stimulate skin sensors that generate and send a very complex signal to our brain that helps balance the sleep network. We already know that our skin absorbs and transmits information from many different types of stimulation, including light, heat, and cold. With the REM super patch, the skin uses our sense of touch to absorb and transmit the information. In fact, a recent study shows with statistical significance that the REM patch helped people sleep better without drugs, supplements, lifestyle, or diet changes. The REM patch is an amazing solution for healthy and better sleep.
What do you think? QR code is on the back of the playbook. So people can go and print out more stuff if they need it. It's right there. All right. You guys having a good day so far? We're not done. We're not done. How many of you in this room have ever surfed? Anybody gone surfing? Paul? Have you ever watched somebody? Have you ever watched somebody surf? Okay. When you watch somebody surf, you watch them and they're out, offshore a little ways, and there's usually on their stomachs, but they're always looking backwards. And what are they looking for? They're looking for that perfect wave, aren't they? Okay. And sharks, right? And what they do is sometimes they let waves pass them by. Like my grandfather let a wave pass him by. He's been dead for 25 years. I still hold a grudge. And what happens is when they find the perfect wave, they start paddling like crazy towards shore. And the reason they start paddling is because they have to develop some momentum. Because if you don't have any momentum and that wave is coming, that wave is going to pass you by. And I don't care how fast you paddle, you've got no chance to catch it. So surfers are like paddling. They've got some momentum. They jump up on their board and they ride it all the way into shore. That's where we are today. That's where we are today. If you look behind you right now, go ahead, just look. The wave is coming. The wave is coming. And what you guys need to do is paddle. Paddle like crazy. All of the excuses are gone. Most of the friction is gone. It'll never be completely gone. But you need to paddle. And you need to bring as many people into this business as you possibly can. Jay and I were talking the other day. He's like, Steve, this is the gold rush. This is a land grab. How many do you want in your organization? All of them. See who listens to my training the most? All of them. And you don't have to be the expert. You don't have to be the expert. Paddle like crazy. Because if you start to paint outside the lines and you put leaves on the trees and you're like, I'm not giving up my shots, you're going to end up like that guy. That dude's up in the air. And the best part is this. Bring your friends. Bring your friends. Because there's nothing like making money with your friends. And sometimes your friends aren't going to get it. And that's okay. I remember I would, and Tommy, you know this. I would do training every single Saturday. We did training at our training center every Saturday. We had 175 to 200 people in the room every Saturday. And my friends would say, hey, you want to play golf on Saturday? I'm like, oh, no, I can't. I've got to do training. And it said, I remember one of my friends said, oh, man, I wouldn't do what you do for nothing. Isn't it a good thing I don't do it for nothing? I said, but hey, I'm free on Monday. Play on Tuesday? What are you doing on Wednesday? Oh, you have to work. I'm so sorry. You have to work? Oh, you're that guy. Looking for those guys. Bring your friends. And let's go take this world by storm. You guys, thank you so much. All right. Whose name is on the screen next? Because we're not done. We're not done. We have more. We want more. All right. This is convention worthy. All right. Please help me welcome back to the stage the gentleman that is doing such amazing things for people, not just us, but for people all over the world. Please help me welcome my buddy, Jay Dollywall.
And all this excitement, because who's seen me give away stuff? I love buying gifts. You like getting them? Yeah, I actually I love buying and giving gifts. I don't know why. Just, I wait for the expression, make them open it. And then, because you want to make sure that they're happy, right? Because that joy, it's the best. It's the best. So listen, we got 3 business builder packs here. We're supposed to do this along the way. See, we're having so much fun. Come back. You gotta draw this thing. Come here. All right.
Who'll give me 5? Who'll give me 10? Who'll give me 20, 25, 30, 45, 40?
All right.
Search for the P. Maple Sanford. Come on, Maple.
Come on. Price is right. Victory.
So let's do welcome kit. Yeah, come on over.
This is the business building pack. Patches.
Oh, the business builder pack. Oh, you got what?
You got patches. Welcome. Right. More.
That's pretty good. Seriously, I thought it was a welcome kit. Just give it away. Oh, geez. All right. Evelyn Rauscher? Come on.
Oh, there's 2 Evelyns. Okay, listen, we're gonna pull another one anyways, and then we'll ship it to you. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Come
All right,
on.
you guys, you gotta put those to good use.
All right. Okay, this one we're gonna mail out to you because because Steve screwed it.
Yeah, so you messed it up.
All right, Steve, one more.
All right, here we go.
Only pull one out now.
Every county to the world.
Come on. Hilda Rose, ROCE, Hilda. Gotta be present to win.
Gone, throw it out.
Gone. Do you have to be present to win?
100%.
No, let's get a consensus. See how everybody's patting each other on the back. We love you guys. Then when I say you gotta be present.
Pick another one, throw them out.
All right. Gayleen Alexander.
Gotta be perfect.
Hi, Gayleen.
Yeah. So I.
Come on.
Jeannie Poirier.
Jeannie here.
Jeannie here. There we go. Jeannie. Hey, listen, coming up. I don't have your box thing because we gave it away. So Jeannie's gonna get one in the mail real soon, Monday. Thank you. All right. Stick around. A great man, Martin Luther King, said, to effect change, you must instill the urgency of now. The urgency of now. Because what Steve talked about, looking backwards isn't going to help. We've got to look forward. Forward, 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 because this is the reality. The most precious thing we have is time. And the number of people that need our help is sadly growing every day. Right? I think we all agree on that. You know, I'm looking for good news on the news channels. I don't hear a lot. But we got some fantastic things that can have a transform. You know, people say, well, change the world, change the world. What we have is transformative solutions. What that pain study shows is that we're transforming people's lives from unhappiness and misery to hope. It's real. And if there's anything you want to be able to provide in the world, trust me, ladies and gentlemen, it's hope and love. Commodity in life. If we're peddling anything, it's hope and love. Okay? Because without it, life is pretty dull and gray. Pretty cold. It's like outside today. It's bitterly cold. Right? And we have something that we know can transform people's lives. Right? And sometimes people don't even know what it can be transformed to. Right? They don't know. I don't think a caterpillar knows it's going to be a butterfly. I don't think it knows. Right? Because if it knew, how miserable would it be? And how quickly would it want to become a butterfly? Scrolling around in the mud or also flying in the air. Like, I want to get there now. Right? People don't know that their lives can transform. How many of us know people that have given up? Oh. You're answering your own question. We answered my question for you. Right? And that's not our default setting. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, giving up is not the human spirit. Right? We adapted to reign majestic over this planet. We learn, we adapt, we build. Sadly, we also destroy, but that's also cyclical, at a circle of life. But we can't stop. Right? Stopping doesn't do anything, right? And what I'll state, the next thing is this. When you bring a revolution of thought, of ideas to the world, for that thing to be successful, it can't be slow. Tell me a slow-moving revolution. It doesn't exist, right? It doesn't exist. Because those will fizzle out, right? If we want to interject a revolution to how people can take care of themselves and their families and their loved ones and their friends, we've got to move with the urgency of now, right? Because listen, how many here have been 6 years with me?
Almost.
Yeah, almost 6 years, right? You guys know me really well. I don't stop. I don't slow down. Obstacles in the way are just something for me to climb over, around, under, through. I don't care. Honestly, Steve knows, he goes, Jay, what do you got? Steve, I don't care. Whatever it takes to get there, we're going to get there. Think about what we've done. Think about what's happened. To get there, I put 12 sticks of dynamite like Wile E. Coyote around the sock business. The fuse is only 2 feet away. Luckily, you know, he's a super genius, right? But not that. And I did the kaboom. Why? Why? Because we need to evolve and offer more better solutions. We need to offer more better solutions. We can help more people quicker. Not about me. Right? It's not about, listen, guys, if you don't know this, it's not about me. It's never been about me. I don't even like putting my picture up on the website. Right? My picture's nowhere on this collateral. Not about me. It's not about Steve. But all of us and all the people we're gonna help, right? But slow. There's no, this thing took a lot of time and effort, and I gotta commend everybody on the team that helped with this. Nowhere in this does it say, take your time and go slow. There's things like 30-day action plans and 60-day action plans and do it now, do it now, do it now. Because when's tomorrow? It's actually a little crazy. Tomorrow's too late. Some days not a day in the week. Some days not a day in the week. Right? And I completely respect everyone's why. Why you're doing it is the most personal thing ever. It's the only thing that's going to keep you going. Whatever that reason is, ladies and gentlemen, whatever that reason is, there's no wrong why. But every why will have its potential. And every why will have its own requirements. Right? My why has a lot of requirements. I need a lot of people helping me on my why, right? That's why we're here. You guys came here because you like, hey, Jay's got a good why. I want to hear what this guy says. And in this big why, you have your own why. We're all together on this, right? But whatever that is, you got to know it for yourself in your heart. And you got to commit to that. Not to me, not to Steve, to yourself. Because the easiest thing to do, and the most tragic thing to do, is to quit on your own why. Right? We see it. I see it. I've seen it 1,000 times. Right? Where people quit on themselves. Don't ever quit on yourself. Not just because you're a super patch. Whatever you're doing in life, bet on you. Bet on you. Bet on you. You got it. Right? The easiest thing to do is quit. And in this industry, what I've learned in this business and in business in general is this. If you keep doing what you're supposed to be doing, I guarantee you, you will be successful. If you do what's on the plan. When will that success come that's going to make you happy? I don't know. I don't know the timelines on it. No one does. I was in the lab in my basement for 8 years before I had one product. My wife's at the back of the room with my kids. And she was like, are you sure? Okay. If you're sure, I'm sure. 8 years before we sold one thing. A lot of times it was easy to say, you know what? I'm going to go back to the corporate world. I was doing great life, great career, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Right? But if you're gonna transform things, if you're gonna do something that no one's never done before, a little bit of madness is required. Small dose. Right? But it's all done. Guys, it's all done. Technology is developed, products are made, the marketing's in hand, the studies are done, the FDA registration is in hand. It's all done. Right? And now here I am telling you, asking you, are we going to do it together? Your own. It's up to you. No, but listen, it's completely up to you. Right? Either I'm on my own, or I got this massive, fantastic family across the world. It's like, you know what, Jay, we're going to change the world together. We'd rather do it together. I want to do it together. Right? But you have to decide that for yourself. And you can't be happy. Listen, you can't be me. I'm all in on everything. So if you're on this deal, if you're on this team, you got to jump in with both feet. No testing the water, it's cold, it's warm. I'll tell you right now, some days the water's gonna be great, some days it's gonna be cold, some days it's gonna be hot, some days the waves are gonna wipe you out, some days you gotta get back out there again. Right? Because that's life. That's life. not a straight line. Who'd want to do the same thing every day anyways? Right? But you know what? We also want to have fun, right, Steve? More fun? All right, we're gonna have more fun. 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 Fun side. All right. I'll let you do it. He's like, yeah.
You guys wanna have some fun?
He's like, yeah.
We're gonna build a little bit of fun together here as we build our Super Patch business together. And what we've decided is that on top of the compensation plan, let's take a trip. Okay? So Golf and Spa Resort is in Cabo San Lucas. Right? And here is a little taste of the resort.
There's the way, taking a minute.
Palm trees just make life better, doesn't it?
Everything better.
Now, when you were looking at these pictures right here, how many of you thought to yourself, oh my gosh, I need more Ignite patches? We gotta go get our game face body back on, right? Ronnie, we gotta get back to our playing weight, right, brother? Right? I know, me too. Me too. But guys, here's what it is. We're gonna have an awful good time for the people who qualify for this trip. And the fun part is, oh, you can't really see that too well. You don't have to qualify for it if you don't want to. Because you can just come with us if you want to. But if you want us to pay for it, we will. All right? Now, this is an all-inclusive resort, and the cost is $1,000 per person based on double occupancy. So you got to put 2 people in a room. So the cost for the room, it's a 4-night stay, is $2,000. So you and a roommate, you got to figure out, okay, how are we going to earn this money back? Okay? And that includes a welcome reception, a private welcome reception for our group. It includes a breakfast social. Okay, we'll pick a day and have a little group meeting together. And then we have a farewell dinner as a group. This will be private. You know, we're not going to be with all the other guests at the resort. All of your meals and all of your drinks are free. That's all included. As soon as I said drinks, that kind of got on the rouse.
Energy meter, I don't know.
Yeah. It includes all daily on-site activities. The resort has activities all day long for us if we want to participate in that. If you want to go do excursions, you're on your own for that. If you want to go swim with the dolphins and things like that, you guys got to go do that on your own. And a fitness center that's included as well. Now, the question is, what do I have to do to earn the trip? Now, you can't read any of that, I know. Okay? Can you read it a little bit?
Yeah.
A little bit? We have a flyer. How many of you have received this flyer? Okay, Paul, how did you get the flyer before everybody?
It just landed in my.
I don't know how that happened. But I saw you with that, like,
It just
was in the right place at the right time.
I have a great team.
Oh my gosh. No, I got you. You guys can walk out with this PDF. Okay, And you're gonna earn points towards your trip, okay? When you earn between $500 and $799, we'll give you $300 towards your trip. Between $800 and about $999, we'll give you $500 towards your trip. And if you earn between 1,000 or over 1,000, you get $1,000 towards your trip. So your goal right now should be, okay, I gotta go earn 1,000 points. And you earn points by doing what we do. Bringing in associates that come in with one of our kits. Okay, and if you notice, the $200 kit is gone. Okay? Yes. And signing up customers. That's how you earn. That's all we do in this business. We sign up customers and we sign up customer getters. That's all we do. Right? That's all we do. Okay? And you're going to earn points for that. Now, everybody that's sitting in this room that wants to go to Cabo should let the Super Patch Company pay for it. And we should let us pay for it. Guys, this is in addition to the compensation plan that we already have. So you're gonna earn whatever you make in the comp plan, plus an additional $300 or $500 or $1,000. Everybody understand? Yep. We have limited rooms. Now it's getting tight. Okay? The trip, the contest is gonna run from January 1st, 2018, so start adding up your points. Oh, your points real quick. Okay, January 1st, so we're dating it back 2 weeks. So what you've done in the first 2 weeks, see guys, remember when we got on our New Year's calls and stuff like that? We're like, get the momentum going, don't stop, keep going, build momentum towards the 14th. We just don't say that just to say it. We knew the trip was coming. We knew that you could start gathering points, but some of you went, to see what Jay has to say on the 14th. 100%. I'm just gonna wait, and I'm gonna let that wave just pass me by. January 1st through June 30th is the contest period, and then we're going on the trip October 4th through the 7th, checking out on the 8th. Okay, now. We have limited rooms, and we will be in touch with you on how to register for these rooms. The website wasn't quite set up. The resort is setting up the registration for us. And somebody could register for it right now and pay the $2,000, and boom, you're good. You've got your spot. You got your spot, and then you earn money along the way. If somebody says, I just want to go on the trip and pay the money, great. You can do that. We're going to let you do that. We're not going to talk to you while you're there, but you can do that. It's like this, that, and okay. And you have to bring us umbrella drinks, okay? So, listen, I have been on a lot of these trips in my career. What it does, it brings everybody together. It's just such a bonding thing. And trust me, as the time gets closer, you are going to want to be on that beach. And you're going to want to be there when we do our Facebook Lives from the pool, from the beach, from the wave runners, from the catamarans, from swimming with the dolphins. You're going to sit there and go, oh man, I wish I would have. Right? It started 2 weeks ago. The point tally started 2 weeks ago.
Some of you already have points.
Right. Right.
Right? You came into a contest and you got some of the pieces on the Monopoly board already figured out. So really quickly, Steve, I'm just gonna go over it. So if somebody joins with the 375 Super Patch launch kit, you get 40 points. The 225 launch kit, you get 25 points. You got an associate on your team, on your front level with this $90 smart chip. You get 12 points. Every customer orders smart chip for $60, you get 6 points. Real easy. 1,200 points, 6 months, paid vacation for 2 people. The room is yours.
So the goal is 1,200.
The goal is 1,200. You don't have to work.
What's that? There you go.
Yeah.
See, Lori's doing the math.
Lori did the math
Lori's
fast.
doing the math.
Lori did the math fast, right? That doesn't even include your customers. And this is the thing. So let me give you guys, so if I got 5 customers today on SmartShip and they stay on for the next 6 months, I'm getting those points every month. I team on SmartShip, my associate team on SmartShip, I got 5 people. I'm getting those 12 points on every single person every month.
So you want to do it this month?
Right.
You want to bring those
Yeah,
people
that's
in
the
this
point.
month?
That's the whole point, right? That's the whole point. You can take a look at your organization, if you built one already in your front lines and say, oh my gosh, I'm almost there. Everybody, let's go. And help them and help your team get there, right? Nothing would make me happier if I'm paying for every single room.
Us too.
Mike's getting the other room. Right? So let's get there together. And if we need more, listen, if we need more rooms, what are we gonna do?
We can probably.
Another trip.
Yeah, we'll do another. trip.
Right? So we're, Steve had this idea, when, like, it's been a couple of months we've worked on this, right? He's like, he goes, yeah, you wanna do a trip? I'm like, I'm down for a trip. He goes, where? I go, I don't know, somewhere nice. And Steve came back with Cabo, and I'm like, yeah, we can definitely do Cabo.
It's beautiful.
And let's do it. So we're really excited to announce this. And I want every single person here participating. And the thing is, you can earn some of the way there. I'll pay some of the way there, right? So if you can get as little as $300, $500 or $1,000 for the whole thing paid, right? Because if you get to $1,000 points, right? That means I'm gonna give you $1,000 toward the trip. But you're only 200 points away from a whole new person coming with you. Why would you stop? You can take me.
That's right. But here's the other thing too, you guys. The money that we're giving you in earning this, you have to apply it for the trip. You can't just take the money and go home. You have to go on the trip with us. Otherwise, you don't get it. Everybody understand?
Yeah.
This is an incentive trip, and this is what you have to do to earn part of the trip. You can't just pay extra money and then go, I'm not gonna go on the trip. Oh,
Yeah.
go on the trip.
You get a McDonald's coupon, you can't get the fries at Burger
Right? I love that.
King. Right? This is the trip. This is how it goes.
Yep.
What
That's
else?
it.
What else? Anything else? Did we give it all away yet?
No, that's it. Last thing that we have for you guys is obviously the tour here was launched. But we're gonna continue this tour. Next Thursday, we're going to Iowa. Sandra and her team up here, they expect all you guys to be there. Please get the team to your meeting. So if you don't have your tickets for Iowa, you better book them quickly, okay?
From Minneapolis.
Through Minneapolis. And then next Saturday, we're gonna be with Carrie and her team in Austin, Texas. And for that, the following Thursday, we are going to be with Tommy Wyatt. All right? Now check the times on that, you guys. The weekdays are 7 to 10. And then on Saturday, the 28th, we're gonna be in Lisle, Illinois, which is Chicago, just outside of Chicago. Debbie's got some great things planned for us there, so that's a 10 to 1 meeting. And then one of, it's kind of out there a little bit, but March 11th is, we've got a meeting in South Dakota, Sioux Falls, South Dakota. But guys, this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. I've got this thing that says MMMMM, more meetings mean more money. And we're gonna blow this thing up. We're gonna absolutely blow this thing up. And this doesn't mean that you stop doing lunch meetings and home meetings and, breakfast meetings and Zoom meetings. These big events here are all in addition to what you're already doing. If you're gonna earn that trip, if you're gonna reach the goals that you wanna reach for yourselves, we have to live this business. We don't sit there and go, I'm gonna work my business from 9 to 4 today. It's like, no, you live your business. And this is just an opportunity to get your people, because some of you are like, I don't know anybody in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Yeah, but somebody in your downline might know somebody. Send them there. Get them in front of this guy. Get them in front of this guy right here. And they are going to join your team. All right,
They're gonna run away.
I'm gonna step off, you wrap this thing up, let's set them on the way.
Let's hear it for Steve. This is the deal, gang. Everybody here. Enthusiasm is contagious. I need everybody listening. Where's everybody? Right there. You can see me, hear me, and everybody here. I need a commitment. I need a commitment. Right? This is how it works. Intention, action, intention, thought, action, repeated action, habit. Do we have an intention of growing our team? Yeah. Okay. I didn't hear, the energy level is like -6. So, what are we gonna do about it? What's the thought? What's the thought? That's the action. The thought, the purposeful thinking of who am I gonna talk to about my intention to grow my business, right? But you have to do it, and then it's action. Okay, I'm gonna talk to Paul. Talk to these people, and then I'm gonna take the action to go reach them. And then I'm gonna do it again and again and again until it becomes my habit. There is no reason everybody listening and everybody in this room can't bring another person on to their team by next Saturday. And I'm gonna count. I got all your names and I got all your email addresses. I know where you live. Guys commit, hands up. If you don't have to, no, because what's the excuse? We're gonna give them more than they spend. Think about that. With everything we presented today, in a week, in 7 days, we can't bring a single person on board. You know what that tells me, like from a clinical business standpoint? We haven't talked to anybody in the last 3 months about our business. There should always be a dozen people, 24 people ready to join. Right? That's how it works. Hoppers at the top, you keep filling it in. Remember the Plinko? You guys remember the Plinko analogy? Every new person that joins is a Plinko. We all played the Plinko, right? The big grand prize is right in the middle. You try to get it, you get all these pegs, go ding, 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 and you get try again, or $5 or $12, $1,000. You can't stop putting the Plinkos in the Plinko game. Keep doing it over and over. Because the minute you stop, what happens? You know exactly what you got. Right? Until the next guy comes along and take all your Plinko chips away and they give it to the next guy, right? So as long as the Plinko game, you can't stop playing, or else somebody's going to take your spot and start playing the Plinko game for you. And the person you would have got if you dropped one more chip, right? That's the thing, right? No one knows which Plinko chip is going to land on the home run and land on the grand prize, or where it's going to happen, or when it's going to happen. It might be your first Plinko chip. It might be your last Plinko chip, right? But we don't know. And that's just the game of life, right? So everybody here, there's 1,000 people combined here and online. That means, no, listen, that means 1,000 new people. If we do that every month, you become so much closer to the billion. Infinitesimal, like it's leaps and bounds ahead. So I'm going to hold you to it. You can hold me to my commitments. And I'm going to hold, is that a fair exchange? You get to hold me accountable. I get to hold you accountable. So let's do it. Listen, thank you for coming today. I so appreciate all of you. We'll see you online. We'll see you out there doing the demos. Share the stories online. Share the stories on social media. And order. Go online. It's in your shopping cart. Oh, you ordered it. Just one. All right. Get your kit. The tools in there. And you're still going to get the patches, right? So how do you lose? Go get it. Thank you, everyone. Steve, my team, thank you all. Over to you, my man. Okay, I love you all for tuning in, and I apologize for the AV issues in the beginning. I hope you were able to solve most of it. It's being recorded. It'll be available for you very, very soon.
Thanks, everybody.